Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So hopefully you have seen my previous video where I went over my top 5 must-have drugstore foundations, my must-haves of all time. And today's video is going to be my top 5 high-end foundations. And a lot of you guys know that really I prefer to stay in the drugstore when it comes to foundations, just because I feel like you can pretty much find the same things in the drugstore, dupes, and save a lot of money. But there have been a few standout products that are high-end that I in no way have been able to duplicate in the drugstore. So these are my tried and tested and trusted foundations, and they are all high-end. Now the first foundation that I want to talk about is the one that I am wearing on my face right now. I have been raving about this on my channel. This is the new Sephora Airbrush foundation, and I use the shade light. I go between light and medium. I love this foundation so much. If I had to tell you guys it's my #1 foundation of all time, high-end and drugstore, it would definitely be this foundation. Right now, currently, this is my everyday foundation. It lasts all day long on me, no shine. It gives me a flawless finish. It covers absolutely everything, and I can just go on and on and on about everything that I love about this foundation. Again, I will have linked below all the reviews and demos to any of these foundations that I mentioned today. This is my #1. I had to name it off the bat just because I feel like I am so in love with this foundation. The finish is absolutely flawless. It looks gorgeous in pictures, and it's on the affordable side. It is $26, but that does come out to about $10.40 per ounce because it does come with 2.5 ounces. So it's not that bad, and I find that the can actually lasts pretty long. So this is definitely #1 on my list. Okay, so speaking of airbrush foundations, my #2 high-end foundation is also an airbrush system, but this one is actually a professional airbrush system, so it's a little bit more of an investment. This is it right here. This is the Belletto Studio system. I have a discount code along with a demo and a tutorial review of all of this right here. So if you guys want to check that out, I will post it down below. This is my go-to for special events because it really does make your skin, it just makes your skin look photoshopped, believe it or not. And since it's such a fine mist, it really looks like your actual skin. It's very natural looking. This one, the way that it compares to the Sephora foundation, this one is a lot more matte. This one is more of a natural finish, so it's gonna give your skin a really nice glow. And this is one that I always get asked from people what I am wearing on my face when I have this one on. The last time that I wore this airbrush makeup was actually going to the mall with one of my friends, and I had 3 different girls come up to me and ask what foundation I was wearing on my face, so I definitely had to list it in today's video. The next foundation that I want to mention, I don't have the actual packaging because I am in between shades right now, and this is the foundation that I will be wearing on my wedding. This is the Kat Von D Locket Tattoo Foundation. The one that I have right now is in shade medium 53. I love this foundation so much. First of all, the coverage is unbeatable. Out of all the foundations that I mentioned today, this is definitely the one that has the most coverage. It really stands up to the oils on my face. I don't get shiny. I don't have to blot at all when I wear this foundation. And what sold me was the way that it looks in pictures. All of these look gorgeous in pictures, but this foundation for some reason just, again, makes my skin look photoshopped. It makes my skin look airbrush, healthy. I just can't say enough things about this foundation. You know that if I pick this one to be my wedding foundation, that it is one that I absolutely love. For being a higher end foundation, it's actually not that expensive at all. They have many different color selections to pick from, so I don't think that you will have a hard time finding your shade. If you are looking for a foundation that you can wear and not have to worry about touching it up throughout the day, that's gonna stand up to the most humid, hot days, I definitely recommend this one, and it photographs amazingly. The next foundation that I want to talk about is one that I love using on an everyday basis. This is the Tarte Amazonian Clay Foundation. I like wearing this one every day because it doesn't have those chemicals and ingredients that irritate my face. My skin is very acne prone, and it just breaks out extremely easily. So if I'm gonna wear a foundation every single day, I want to make sure that it's not gonna clog my pores or cause anything on my face, basically. So this is the Tarte Amazonian Clay. It gives really good coverage. It has a satin matte finish, a little bit more on the satin side, and the coverage is on the medium side, but it definitely is buildable. And I love the shade selection of this because they have a lot of yellow undertones, they have a lot of pink undertones, so this is another one that you should not have a hard time finding a shade match in it for you. And also, this actually comes with more than the average foundation. The average foundation, I would say, comes with about 1 ounce. This has 1.6 ounces, so it is around $42, I believe, but I feel like I'm almost getting 2 foundations in one, so it's really not that bad. Next foundation is my go-to for the summertime. This is the Hourglass Immaculate Liquid Powder Foundation. Basically what it is a liquid foundation that transforms into a powder right on your face. Actually, the first time that I tested this out on the store, I put a little bit on my hand and I just rubbed it in, and it instantly turned into a powder right onto my hand. It's the weirdest thing ever. I know a lot of foundations actually claim to be a liquid to powder, but this one actually does transform into a powder. It probably is one of my most expensive foundations, but I really do find that it's worth it if I'm going on vacation or if I'm going to be in a place where it's really, really humid and hot. The way that this one compares to the Kat Von D is that this one is a super, super matte finish. The Kat Von D one has a little bit more of a natural finish to it, but if you love matte foundations, you will love this one. The way that I found this is actually when I went into Sephora, I asked the sales girl, what is the most matte foundation that you guys have for oily skin? And she directly went to this one, and I definitely have to agree. I wear the shade Nude, and I definitely feel that it is worth the investment. And the last one that I want to talk about today, I know I said my top 5, but this is kind of like an honorable mention. This is the Bare Minerals Ready Foundation. I do have a tutorial and a demo review up on this as well. And this is one that I like to wear as a foundation, even though it is a powder. It has such amazing coverage to it. I wear the shade Golden Medium, and this is perfect, again, as an everyday basis because it's so easy to apply. You don't have to worry about mixing it up with a concealer, with setting it with a powder. You basically just use this with a big flat top kabuki brush and put it all over your face, just buff it in, and you're set to go. You have the same amount of coverage as you would with a liquid foundation. I know it's a little bit hard to believe that a powder can give you the same amount of coverage as a liquid, but in my experience, I have found that with this powder. If you guys want to see it live and in action, I will post that video down below. Those are all of the foundations that I'm going to mention today. Make sure to check out my top 5 drugstore foundations if you have not seen that video yet, and be sure to leave me a comment down below letting me know your most favorite high-end foundation of all time. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Mwah. Bye!